Welcome. It's a pleasure to meet you. I am Philemon, a dweller between consciousness and unconsciousness. And now, a simple test. Can you state your name?
I dreamt I was a butterfly. I couldn't tell I was dreaming, but when I woke, I was I and not a butterfly. Was I dreaming that I was the butterfly, or was the butterfly dreaming that it was me? If you haven't played the first 3 games in the Persona series, you may not know who Philemon is. In Persona 1, Philemon appears as a man wearing a black shirt and black tie, a white blazer and white pants, and more notably he wears a mask that has the image of a violet butterfly printed on the right side of it. In Persona 2, his design is a bit different, with him wearing a black turtleneck shirt and black pants, his mask revealing more of his face, and this time the right side of his mask is shaped like a butterfly wing in the color orange. Philemon has limited appearances but is an integral part of the Persona series, as he's the one that grants the power of the persona to whomever he chooses. He resides within the consciousness and unconsciousness of all souls. Consciousness, which is the physical world itself, and the collective unconsciousness, which is also known as the Sea of Souls. Now, truth be told, I actually didn't play those games, so this part was a bit confusing to me when I was doing my research, so if I get anything wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments. But the Sea of Souls, also known as the collective unconsciousness, is a recurring location in the Persona series that's created by the psyches of all life on Earth. However, it is mostly influenced by the human mind, as the human brain is more complex, and there's multiple, seemingly infinite areas in this realm. Essentially, this is where personas and people's shadows reside. It is the part where all souls come from and return to once they die. Oh, and also you can encounter Philemon in the Araya Shrine, also could be pronounced Alaya Shrine just because I believe R and L are interchangeable in Japanese. But in the Araya Shrine, Philemon tells the protagonist that it is connected to the Sea of Souls. Philemon is the embodiment of human potential, free will, and self-discovery. He also serves as a neutral observer and doesn't get directly involved. This is in contrast to Nyaralto? I can't pronounce that name, so I'm gonna just call him Bob. This is in contrast to Bob, who is the main antagonist, that manipulates the destructive and negative tendencies of humanity. Now, I won't talk much about Bob in this video, but he is linked to the collective unconsciousness, and he and Philemon made a wager whether humans will prevail in the face of adversity, or if they will lead themselves to a path of self-destruction. As for what Philemon does, he literally brings the protagonist and his friends to offer them advice and guidance relevant to their current situation. While he often shows his human form to them, he also takes the form of a blue or golden butterfly. Blue signifying his attention and golden signifying his presence. You can see his golden butterfly form when he appears in front of the protagonists. At the end of Persona 1, Philemon brings you to his domain one last time, stating that you no longer wear a false mask, and that if you find yourself in trouble in the future, to look into your soul to find your true self. He then promptly removes his mask, revealing his face, and then he dissolves into a swarm of golden butterflies to symbolize that his job is done. At the end of Persona 2, the player is given the option to thank him or hit him, which, by the way, like, why are you even given the option to hit him? Like, I believe that the whole theme is free will, but at that point, that's just your intrusive thoughts winning. Like, why will you hit him? If there's a reason for this, please put it in the comments. I actually want to know. But anyways, if you choose to hit him, the strike will knock his mask off. It is then revealed that he has the same face as the protagonist, and after picking up his mask, he then promptly tells you, "I am Philemon, a dweller in the rift between consciousness and unconsciousness of all souls. I am you, you are me. I shall always watch over you from within. Farewell." And then pretty much just sends you back. In Persona 2 Eternal Punishment, Philemon once again appears, serving the same purpose. He aids the protagonist and his friends through the final dungeon called Monado Mandala? I hope I didn't butcher that. But following Bob's defeat, Philemon once again leaves after fulfilling his duty. However, you can later find him in his EX dungeon, where he is revealed to be an extremely powerful Persona user. In fact, he is one of the few bosses that can withstand the move called Armageddon. And if you hit him with Armageddon, he will then retaliate with his own move called Armageddon R, which is totally unsurvivable and will wipe out your team. And based on my research, this is the last time that you will see Philemon. Well, Kinda, and we'll get more into that a bit later. You see, Philemon is based on the writings of Carl Gustav Jung. The entire concept of a persona, the collective unconscious, and the manifestation of human potential versus destruction, they all come from Jung's ideology. Now, before I continue any further, I want to give massive credits to Tony For You and his video, Who is Philemon Persona Lore, because he goes way more in depth regarding the origins of the name Philemon and the connections to Jung's ideology regarding archetypes. I honestly feel like Tony explained this way better than I could, so I'll just be leaving the link to his video in the description. I highly recommend that you give it a watch because his video talks about what Philemon symbolically means, while I just merely talk about Philemon in the game. All that I will say though is that Philemon is Jung's personal archetype of wisdom and a spirit guide he often encountered in his dreams and visions. The wise old man archetype, if you will. Jung described him as an old man with wings, representing higher knowledge and insight beyond his own conscious mind. But like I said, if you want to know more about that, check out Tony For You's video after this video though, please. The link will be in the description. Oh, and also I don't know where else to add this segment, but as of me making this video, I currently have 19 subscribers. So if you're enjoying the content and the effort that I'm putting into this, please make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. But anyways, if you play Persona 3, 4, and or 5, you will notice that Philemon is nowhere to be seen. However, he is still very much present, though this time he is taking the role of a neutral observer. Instead of directly guiding the protagonist, he created the Velvet Room, a space between dream and reality, mind and matter. Basically a place that connects the consciousness and unconsciousness that not many people can see or enter. Igor, the master of the Velvet Room and servant of Philemon, carries out Philemon's will as the one that guides those who awaken the power of the persona, typically the wild card, with the Velvet Room attendants guiding the protagonist along his journey. This doesn't mean that he hasn't appeared after his EX dungeon battle. He has made appearances, however he only appears as a butterfly or multiple. You can see him in the opening of Persona 3 and Persona 3 Reload. He also appears to Aegis during the events of the answer flying into her hand, and during the whole Yap session in the beginning of Persona 3, you can see him flying in the background. Oh, and when I was recording this video, I hadn't finished playing Persona 3 Reload, but you also see him at the end of the game after a specific scene. Obviously, I won't spoil it. In Persona 4, he can be seen throughout the save points in the game, and in the Persona 4 opening, you can see him landing on top of a TV, then turning into an antenna. Now, he doesn't seem to have any appearances in Persona 5. The blue butterfly that you see is Lavensa, but it is speculated that at the start of the third semester, Philemon is the one that guides you out of Maruki's influence in the form of the blue butterfly. However, I personally believe, and I'm sure most people do as well, believe that that was actually Lavensa, not Philemon. Oh, and according to the wiki, he also appears in Persona Q1 as the form of the blue butterfly, and in Persona Q2, he appears as both a blue and golden butterfly. So pretty much anytime that you see a blue butterfly, unless stated or implied otherwise, you can pretty much infer that it's Philemon, or at the very least, a sign that he's still watching. Now, during the Persona Double Jump interview with Alice, which I believe took place before Persona 5, a fan asked if we will see the return of Philemon, in which Atlas replied with, he does exist in the P3 P4 world, he is secretly watching over the protagonists. Now, I don't know if this also will apply to Joker, but I don't see why not. Anyhow, I don't know if we'll ever see him in human form again. I mean, Igor and the Velvet Room allow Philemon to just watch the characters in the shadows. Honestly, if there was a perfect time for him to reappear, it would have been during the events of Persona 5 when Yaldabaoth took control of Igor in the Velvet Room. However, it seems like he instead decided to just watch Joker from a distance and see what he would do. So what do you think? Do you think that one day he will come back? Maybe in Persona 6? Yeah, that game is never coming out. But with that being said, this is the second video that I do like this. If there was any information that I missed, got wrong, or if you just want to add anything, please put that in the comments. And if you want to watch me live, it's the very first link in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe as it really helps my channel. Have an amazing day.